Right, let's get started. Let's get started. Okay, so first thing is to talk through the week. So last week I said I would check the price of one of them. Um, it's actually a property I've offered on, so I've moved it into my confidential pipeline because I might go into investors. So I have done that. I've checked the price, I've viewed it, and I've got an offer in. It's with Purple Bricks though, so um, let's see. It's a really good offer, to be honest. Um, we'll try and navigate the whole thing. You have to offer through the app, and I don't know exactly who I'm offering to. They say you were able to DM the vendor. That never happened. No one ever replied to my DMs. So let's see. But it is a really good offer. Yeah, honestly, that property's got a load of potential. It's really good. Then I said H88. This one. I said this one. I said I would. Yeah, what happened with this one? So I had a virtual viewing done, had a video tour taken, but it hasn't yet been sent to me. So really need to press them and follow up on that. Why they didn't send those videos through to me, unfortunately. Um, Then W3, what's that one? Oh, oh, it's actually this one. I didn't mean to click, but that's telling me what I wanted to see. This one, I need to follow up because I sent an email to them, whether the vendor would sort of take an offer or anything, and now it's a past listing. Yeah, they said something to me about not maybe doesn't want to sell, so I've told myself to follow up on Tuesday about this one, because I told them I'd be looking to come in around 700 to 750 on an assisted sale basis. Have they now relisted it or? Oh no, right. So they've still got the rubbish listing from City Deal Estates on here. Okay, but not the other one. The reason it's a rubbish listing is because this estate agent just kind of shut me down. As in, like, it had like one photo or two photos externally. But this is the photo that showcases the swimming pool. This is the Work With Me Wednesday deal. Um, Originally, this agent just put out two external photos and told me if you want to know more details, come and view it. And it was just like, what? I don't know what I'm looking at. But this one could be worth viewing, even though it's not still on with Roll Feast. It's just on with these guys. I don't know what's going on. I'll follow up with both agents. Then I'll make a note of that because I don't prefer these agents, but now the vendor's only going through them, so got to follow up with both of them. But yeah, I had a good time explaining my offer to the agent. He was able to forward it on with no questions really. He was happy to forward it on. But then he said, well, I think they're considering not selling it. Well, maybe that's the agent's way of saying they don't want to list it with us anymore because they still want to sell it through this City Deal company. I was thinking I thought it was spelt with an S and a H there, but it turns out it's spelt with a C. Anyway, next one. I said I would run a through actually, we'll get to that in a sec. Then I said this one, NW10 AAT. Yeah, the problem with this one, which is I've not made an offer, is a few builders had a look at it. I was sent pictures by the agent, a virtual viewing. It's really nice. I think I just missed the fact that this loft hadn't been done and the comparables had the loft done. It just means to add in a loft conversion and everything, there's just not enough margin. Apparently people are offering like 6, 20, 30, 40 for this property. And with a loft conversion, I mean, this one, has this had a loft? I can't remember now. This one might not have done actually, but that's probably why it was sold lower. So I'll look at this again. I know this one has had the loft. So it's had the loft and it's 815. Well, the refurbishment that I found from the builders with all the VAT and everything, it's like over 250k. Might even be close to 300. You need to redo absolutely everything to the loft. 3 floors. That's what they're saying. Seems steep, but take the word for it. Let's say at least 250. Well, if it's only achieving 815, you know what I mean? So, because I was thinking this would be more like a 150 job, but I think I was just neglecting the need to do the roof. Always costs a lot. So we need to offer around 500, and it's just not going to happen. Apparently they're getting offers of over 600. So yeah, good for them. Good for them. Do I remove it from the pipeline? I think I'll remove it when it's actually sold subject to contract, because who knows? Those offers, high offers, might not be worth much, and they might fall through. And then, yes, so the other thing I was going to do is run some properties through my purchase lease option analyzer, newly updated this week with the help of Louis and the Fontaine Brothers network, one of the mentors, finance guy, because I really needed it to work out the lease option thing. And let's take a look. So a few of them worked. So I said that kind of maybe worked. Most of them honestly didn't. But this one I said it could work if they agree with a 850k purchase price, so a lot lower. But in fairness, this has been on the market since since April 2025. So come on. And it's currently tenanted, I believe, and they just they might, if they were happy with it, instead of receiving the tenanted income, receiving 2k a month with an 850k purchase, later down the line. But then they'd have to accept the 2k coming off the 850. So it's a maybe. You can float the idea. This one, what did I say? So the issue with this one, it needs a bit of a refurb as well. These are all the negative equity ones, but I said, if they accept, again, if they're able to accept a low option fee, it depends on the situation. If it's a couple that's just retiring, well, then maybe they don't need like cash flow or something. So they might accept the low offer. And this one, what did I say? Yeah, it could work with 370, 1k per month. The issue probably is going to be, though, with these guys, that they're paying 2k a month in their mortgage, so 1k a month might not work, but as a maybe. And then I think there was another one which I think I've removed from my pipeline now, because just in no circumstances did it work. Okay, now we might think to continue on the pipeline. I think we were about... Oh, and I should analyse this one as well. This could be a PLO. Well, this is another one to analyse with the interesting plant block. Okay, well, this could be another one then. We'll do it right now. We'll do it in a week. And maybe send letters. Haven't sent letters in a while. Mainly focusing on agents at the moment. But and because this week is the last week before my property engine. In fact, let's have a look. Before it go, hang on a minute, I don't want to show all of that. But essentially, before it goes on to the full price premium. At the moment, I'm on half price premium, £54 a month. When it goes to 108, I'm not sure I can take that hit. So today we're going to first view a video, and hopefully it streams okay. We're going to view a video explaining how you can make the most of Property Engine's Lights package. So I have to confess, I do really like this pipeline. Having all the deals here it is quite efficient. Yeah, I do like it. However, I can't believe they've not reduced this one again. Oh, I could analyse this one as well. Anyway, however, in the light package where you only paid about £30 a month, you don't get the pipeline. You also don't get the letters. So I was saying, maybe I should do maximum letters as much as I can in the next couple of days. Who knows? But you can't do letters. Actually, yeah, I should, because I got about 10 quid in its bank thing, or 12 quid. So I should put that down actually. Can't do the D2B, can't do the pipeline, can't do brochures, and I have found that useful to send to investors, but at the end of the day, yeah, it will take me an extra probably 15 minutes, but I can still make a brochure myself. They won't look as good, perhaps, but it's like an extra 80 quid a month just for that. I don't know, really, that's not worth it. Because I only put deals into a brochure when they like absolutely work. It's more like 1 or 2 a week, so I don't think, so if you break it down, let's say it's 2 a week, so it's 8 a month, so at least we're paying £10 per brochure. Like, that's definitely not, I don't think that's worth it. So yeah, can't do the brochures, can't do the pipeline, but is the pipeline worth it? So we're going to find out the alternative method on the light package of doing the closest thing you can to a pipeline, which is something with labels. So I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna make notes.
Hey everyone, Jamie from Property Engine here, and in this video we're going to cover how to get started with Property Engine, how to find property deals and use all of the tools within Property Engine. Basic. So when you first log in, this is the interface that you'll see. You'll see the search results here on the left hand side.
Well, Jamie did send me an email. I'm wondering if he gave me a timestamp of exactly where to look for this. Can you see how this is done in this video? No, he didn't. Okay. All right. Well, fair. He wants me to watch.
We've got the map, and here you can save a search and actually refine your search area. So this is where you actually select the search area that you want to find properties within. So for this example, we're going to search within Leeds. So I'll just search for that. And with Property Engine, you can actually type in multiple locations as well. So we're going to do Bradford as well. And when you choose your search areas here, you can click on either one of these to actually add on a radius. It doesn't have to be a radius. So for Leeds, what we'll do is we'll add a travel time on, and we're going to say all properties within 40 minutes, let's say, of the city centre. So great for rental properties, great for HMOs where your tenants might not have a car. And so you want to find properties in those like prime locations where they can get to the city centre quickly. So if we save that, you'll see the map will update and it will show all of the areas that
I feel like in London we're close to everything where I'm looking at, but
are reachable within 40 minutes of Leeds city centre. And then we've got Bradford selected as well.
It's so interesting how public transport works. You can, what's that? Huddersfield, 40 minutes, bang.
Well, so yeah, that's how you can do that. And you can also exclude postcodes as well. So if you know you're not looking in a certain postcode, you can just type it in here and then just press on exclude. And then you'll see on the map, it's cut out LS8 there when I pressed on exclude. So yeah, you can really refine your search criteria down. And then if you need to draw a custom area, so you don't have to search by city or postcode, you can just press on draw custom area and then just draw on the map like this, double click to finish. And then you'll see here that it's showing properties within that area. You can even move it around as well. So as you move it around, you'll see the maps updating, the search results are updating, and then you just press on.
Didn't know you could do all this. I mean, it's a pretty cool interface, but I never use this aspect.
Done down here to save that area. And then if I want to amend that search area, I just go back up here to draw custom area.
But in fairness, when I start getting to know areas better, doing a simple like 5-mile radius, it might be more useful to refine like this, because I could cut out the too expensive areas and cut out the like cheap crappy areas and like draw it, or it can be helpful when I start, you know, when we start knowing the area even better. I mean, I can probably have some sort of good idea about it now. Never needed it yet, but
yeah,
no, it's cool.
I can click on the blue polygon there that I created, and I can change it. I can move the points around just by clicking again. I can move the points around, or I can just press on the trash can here to delete that area that I created. So yeah, it's really easy to create search areas. Let me just delete that. Yeah, really easy to refine your search area for where you're looking for properties. Once you've picked your search area, you can then head over here to the left-hand side where we've got our filters. And the filters in Property Engine, it's the most powerful part. We've got kind of pre-made strategies, presets, where you can quickly filter down the properties. But then you can also just search for various things, you know, bedrooms, bathrooms, construction year. So when the property
This is honestly very, very useful.
is actually built, you can filter by specific estate agents, hide auction properties, show auction properties. You can do all of that. And then as you kind of scroll down, we've got some more interesting filters that you might not typically see. You can actually search by planning applications. So you can find properties that have prior planning permission, granted, rejected, all these different statuses you can find. You can also search based on the keywords of planning applications as well, which is really powerful. And then we've got our kind of environmental constraints, our planning constraints.
Maybe, I'm just thinking, maybe properties that have been submitted but not granted. Or is that just inheriting a headache, perhaps? Or properties granted, but granted, if it's granted and they've already done the extension, then if it's granted but they've not done it, then yeah.
So here you can search inside and outside of Article 4. You can filter properties with a certain flood risk, conservation area. And then, yeah, at the bottom we have ownership as well. So you can actually search for properties owned within a limited company or by specific companies as well. If you wanted to see what someone's portfolio might be, you can use that. So yeah, what we'll do.
Yeah, that one, that, I'll make a note because I want to do that to find investors. And I'm glad that you can still do that even with a light package. So yeah, so that's good, because I can literally go through like properties that have been bought or are for sale by a company. Maybe they're for sale by a company and they've been like bought and flipped, or they're demanding high purchase price, whatever, and you can see that they've been renovated, and then who renovated that, that's my investor for perhaps the next, I can help him with the next, him or her for the next renovation. So yeah, could probably just reverse engineer investors through that.
For this example is we'll have a look at the strategies. So we've got back and reduced. This is going to be filtering for properties that have come back on the market at least once. So they were taken off and they've come back on, and they've been reduced in price. So that's really indicating a strong level of motivation. The vendor's going to be
so we can see Jamie
motivated to sell. So back and reduced is a great filter for that. Needs modernizing. So we're identifying properties that need renovation. Negative equity. We're looking at the current asking price compared to what the vendor previously paid. So if it's significantly less, then there's a strong chance that they might be in negative equity. So that's a great strategy to use for purchase lease options. We've got our repossess strategy there.
That's what I use, negative equity. And they don't always work, but I indicated a few that might. This one might work, been on the market a while. Negative equity. I mean, what did they pay for it? 985, but that was in 2016, so yeah. I'd expect appreciation, but it's not happened, unfortunately. And then the next one, this one, what did they pay for it? 1.4, as in 14. I mean, so it's gone down that percent in 10 years. You expect appreciation, right? Don't know if something's happened to the area, or if strange people have moved in, or I don't know what, but it all looks lovely, this area. Hampstead Garden suburb. I think the problem with this Hampstead Garden suburb gonna be the conservation area stuff. So, like, it doesn't need new windows or anything, so you can probably do stuff inside. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Let's here we go.
And probate as well. So we're pulling in probate properties and matching those up for both on market and off market as well, if you're on our business package. And then, yeah, we've got cash only, potential HMO conversion, and a few others down here, which we'll get into in other help articles. So yeah, for this example, we're going to take a look at back and reduced. So again, we're searching within Leeds and Bradfords, back and reduced, and we'll do needs modernizing as well. So what this is doing is it's showing properties that have been back and reduced or are in need of modernization. But if I wanted to match by both of those criteria, I would just choose this here, match all. So this way you can kind of stack the strategy.
Do you know what? I don't think I've ever used the match all function. It's funny. It's funny how many useful buttons you could ignore. For example, I've got saved searches here. He was saying back and reduced. I mean, yeah, I think I've literally just got back, and I've also got back, and I've got reduced, but I've never stacked it. I mean, I think that's probably something I could look at if both of these searches are performing well. I can stack it. Like, this is just reduced, right? So let's open it. If I also added back, then yeah. Wow, only 6 properties today on this one. And they all sold. No, not this one. Oh, well, I like this. Getting distracted again. Might add this one to the pipeline though. Oh yes, it's a classic. It's olive green. Ah, beautiful. And 2 toilets as well. That's 2 toilets in 1 bathroom. So you can have a chat to your missus or something whilst you're on the toilet. Strange, isn't it? Okay, each to their own. Yes, obviously needs a refurb. Little rabbit. No, I thought it was a rabbit. Damn. Yeah, I mean, this has been reduced a lot. Awesome room. Go on, let's do a cheeky little. I'm curious now. This one's not in my part. The other ones I recognise, I've seen, but I've not seen this one yet. Comparables are going to be the issue. 132 for. Okay, so 132 square meters for 4-bed. Oh, so needs a charge. Okay, so that's it. They're a little bit too far away than I would like, really. That's the issue there. King over the 7th, recreation ground. Oh, I know that area. It's probably the best one, but it's a little bit too big. Or maybe this one. Well, that one worries me. That's that's quite cheap. It does also need a refurb, but that's quite cheap. And then these other ones are just, I suppose, not different. Oh, you're not letting me. There are some bugs on Property Engine though, I have to say, like why can't I see them now? Properties. Anyway, so it's not going to be that. Not going to be that. It's whether I go play more based on this comparable or this one. How optimistic am I feeling? Well, it'd probably be somewhere in between, like 1,900,000. If I remember correctly, the property's on for like 850 though. Was this one done nicely? Actually, that one's not even done nicely as well, so that needed a refurb as well, so it's really hard to ascertain the end value, and the only nice one is 1.75 mil, but I just have my doubts. Could just look at 2 years. So you can't hover over the things anymore. Alright, let's have a look at Darnington, a little bit smaller. Also needs a refurb. Okay, here we go. 12 Donington Road, same size, refurbished. I think this is a fair approximation. Yeah. 1.18. Okay. Maybe we could achieve something like that. Yeah, and here's a loft conversion, as they all do in a rear extension. And I have to say, a very large rear extension. Well, that needs planning permission. That's not a permitted development one. So this is definitely a kind of ceiling price. A sort of 1.2. What's this one for? Not refurbished. Look at this one. Yeah, that's nicely done. Yeah, this is an acceptable comparable. 1.13. Okay, so we can get over 1,000,000, but it has to be done really nicely. I mean, oh no, wrong one. What sort of extensions are we looking at here? Ground floor, loft, loft. No loft, in fairness, no loft. But this is more of a wider set semi than the sort of terrace thing. So I've got to account for that. Chelmsford School? Chelmsford Square. I coach tennis there. And I know that we're not going to achieve that price because that area is super nice. Like, too nice. But it's not comparable. Okay, so we've got two comparables from that. Which is a little bit far away from each other, but I guess we should be somewhere in the middle. There's no way it's asking 1.1, is it? I think it's been further reduced. So, looks like we could achieve 1.1. And it's asking for 875. I'll stick it in the pipeline, but I do believe, yeah, we're going to need a rear extension. Has it done the loft? This could be critical. I can't see it on quite an old roof as well. I think it's not done a lot, so it needs at least 200k, maybe 250k spent on it, which will already take us to 1.1. So I think this would need to be agreed at like 700. Oh, we do have a full plan. Yeah, no loft. Conservatory. That's not a conservatory, that's a pig shed. So, no offence to whoever lives there. I hope you don't watch this video. But obviously you've made done with a non-standard construction. The loud building now would not call that a conservatory. Well, I'll add it, but we do need a lot of movement. And their starting price expectations was there. It's like they're going to struggle to move further. I think they're going to struggle to move further. Let's double check, but I do think both comparables have needed the loft to unlock that value. Therefore, yeah, so it does need the loft. There's no way of going cheap and cheerful in this. So we need to agree for about 700. So probably more like yeah, 250, and just I'll put this in the analyzer quickly. We're supposed to be watching Jamie's video, but broken it up a little bit. No offense, Jamie, but it was dragging. We'll break it up a little bit with a little bit of deal analysis. Why not? It's a 250k purchase price. Previously agreed price. Well, at the moment it's 875, and I know this won't work, but we just need to see how much we've got to go. I mean, not 110,000, 1.1 mil is quite a conservative GDV. I mean, actually, those properties were smaller. And if we do the loft conversion, little extension, we can probably get it to 1.15, but it's good to be conservative from the bat. And yeah, right off the bat, we're looking at losing money, which is not what I want to do for our investors. So let's go to £700,000. Yeah, like I said, £700,000 and making 36% return. It's not bad. And yeah, we can even absorb the agency fees in. I'm looking at more like a 50%, and 50, well, around there, yeah, I'd look to put that to investors. Now, in the best case scenario, but you don't want to put that best case scenario to investors. Oh, that's not best case, that's cuckoo land. Hang on a minute, 115, wasn't it? That one, yeah. Then, yeah, it's an optimal case. It's the most you're ever going to get from it. I don't think it's even worth offering higher than 700, because you could say, oh yeah, well, that means I can now offer 750, but the 1.15 is like, so I'd definitely start things at 700. I won't save this one because it's probably not a deal yet. But I'm just going to make a note. Test the waters at 700k. If they're like complete refuse, then we'll just move on. Don't forget. Oh, and this is reduced heavy, wasn't it? I think it was just reduced heavy. The labels. That's what he's going to be showing me. Without the pipeline, just the labels. I don't know if that's going to help me as much, because this is what I like to do. Just add to the pipeline. It's a great feature, but it's going to cost me 100 quid a month. Might just set up a GoFundMe, guys. Right, so back onto it. So yeah, we've got that one to a minute. That one to follow up on. I mean, it's just their price expectations of over a million. It just seems ridiculous. When you've got these properties that need like a large 200, 250, 300 refurb, and they're asking like close to what a new one goes for, it's just it's part of the game, isn't it? Okay, let's keep going with this.
These the lead types, and say that they have to match all of the ones that you've selected. So yeah, now we're filtering for properties that are back and reduced and in need of modernization. So we've got that motivation, but also then the properties need renovating as well. So we can have a look through the photos of some of these properties. Some of them will be light refurbs. Some of them will be, significant works required. So it just depends really. It's a really good starting point to use the needs modernizing to kind of find these properties. A lot of them will be kind of probate properties or, previously tenanted. So yeah, just have a look through the photos to have a look at those. But when you find a property that is of interest, you can, click onto it. We've got all the photos. We're pulling in the full address as well for that property. So we've matched that to full address. Really, really good for doing further due diligence. And we've got the floor area, plot size, and all of that. And you can see what the original asking price was and then what it's been reduced to, because we selected that back and reduce filter. And then over here on the right hand side.
Yeah, I find it more helpful to do reduced heavy, because 5% reduction is not that much. As you can see, that one was originally asking 1.15 million, the same as what I think its GDV is, and it needs a refurb. So then if it's been reduced 10, 20%, you can actually filter for that. I don't know if it'll show you, but you can filter to what extent it's reduced.
We've got the asking price of this property compared to the average in a 1 mile radius. And then here, you'll actually be able to purchase title documents and see who the owner is. So if I press on reveal here, you can see that we can buy the title register. What we're doing is we're going off to the land registry and purchasing those title documents and bringing them right into Property Engine for you. So you don't have to go into the land registry and do that yourself. And we're extracting the name and address of the owner as well. So yeah.
My funds that I've loaded into Property Engine, I could use to do that.
Yeah, you can also see if there's a mortgage, any registered charges, those come through as well. And yeah, you can press on the title document and open that PDF if you want to. So yeah, just saves a lot of time having to jump between different websites. You can do it all within Property Engine. And then when you scroll down to the bottom here, we've got the EPC, and we've also got the history of this property. So you can see it's been reduced in price, it's come back on the market. What's really cool with Property Engine is you can use it a bit like a CRM. So you can save all of your notes and comments here into this activity view here. So I can say like spoke to John at estate agent, etc. Like you can say whatever you want here, and this gets saved in this kind of timeline view. So when the property is kind of going on and off the market, you might have saved them. When it comes back on, you can see the history of the property, but also your notes in this timeline.
In theory, yes, but sometimes I feel like this doesn't work, where like it'll be remarketed maybe by a different agent, sometimes not even by a different agent, and like the old things disappear because it's like a new listing. I don't know, Property Engine perhaps can't see the old one, or it might say it might have a little link around here. So like, can you see my cursor? Yeah, you can. Might have a link around here to like show previous listing, and then I have to go in there and then I'll find it. But like the data's somewhere, it's just sometimes the way the agent puts it back on, it gets lost.
So you have that contextual view, and you'll be able to remind yourself exactly where you were, where you left off a few months ago when you were looking at properties. So yeah, really powerful for monitoring properties that are coming on and off the market, and to actually get alerted with property activity. You can watch specific properties as well. So you can go over here to the alerts enable email alerts, and then you can say, okay, I want to be alerted instantly if this property comes back on the market, if it's reduced, or if it goes off the market. So yeah, great for keeping an eye on specific properties, especially ones that are of specific interest to you. So yeah, then we've got the links out to the portals here as well. And then yeah, you've got the description, floor plan, just typical things here. But the next step when you're actually looking at
that's another thing. If I was interested in a property, whereas now I put it in my pipeline and I get like it pops up all the important ones in all the important ones in the pipeline pop up as like with this red circle of like, oh, do this, follow up, or price reduced, or whatever. I might have to put that on an email now. Ugh, more emails instead of having it here.
the property would be to head over to the comparables section to see what's going on at a street level. So if we go over to the comparables tab here, so now you can zoom straight into the street level here and actually switch over as well if you want to our detailed Ordnance Survey master map. So you can just click on the layers here to choose that. And yeah, you can just hover over each property on the street. It's very, very detailed. You can just hover over any of these properties and see at the bottom what the address is, when it was last sold. This one here, the actual dot, that's a specific comparable that matches the same type of property, the same number of bedrooms, basically matches this criteria here that's been automatically selected for you based on the property that we were looking at. So here on the left, you can see the property we were looking at, 190,000, 4 bedrooms, and what the floor area is. And then these are our comparable properties here that are coming in. And if I just zoom out a bit, there aren't many comparables on this street, but yeah, as you kind of go through and hover over these comparables, you can see it's highlighting on the map where those are. Now with the comparables, we actually show you the nearest ones first on the actual street level. So we're following the roads. It's not just as the crow flies. So you're getting very relevant comparables at the start rather than just a kind of jumbled mess of properties within a certain radius. But yeah, we can have a look at this property here. So it's sold in 2022, 171,000. We can click on it, view the photos. So yeah, with this property, 190,000 and, it needs work doing. It doesn't look like there's going to be much room there for adding value. But yeah, there's a lot of kind of higher value properties here as well. But like I said, there aren't actually many comparables on this street. So we might want to have a look at another property here. But this is the value of Property Engine, is you can get to those comparables so quickly and identify what's going on at the street level and see then if that property is going to be relevant.
So true. It would be so easy to waste your time on that 190k, 5% reduced property. If you didn't have Property Engine, you might look on Rightmove and see a few data that might lead you to think there's 250 or 300k, and you missed that one that was actually 170. Yeah, this does save a lot of time.
Relevant to your strategy, or if it's stats at all, if it works. So yeah, we can just have a look through some more properties here. We've got this one. This is in state of disrepair, also just a mess. So yeah, you can go into the comparables again and see what's going on at the street level. So again, we can zoom in and we've got that very accurate mapping. You can see exactly where the property is that we're looking at. It's not a rough location like it is on the portals. And we've got some comparables here. Sold in 2023, 122,000. We can have a look at the photos. Similar condition, I would say. And then, yeah, you can start to use these comparables to get an idea of what your kind of end value might be for a property. Once you've looked at the comparables,
what feature I think they should add here is when you're looking at comparables, because you want to find nicely done ones, you want a comparable for GDV. Like if you were able to go, so I go into this property, I'll look at the comparables. If I was able to add a filter here that had like condition, I think that would be great. And then you're only bothering with one that have been done up, because I don't know whether this is in Okay, it happens to be. Well, this one is in super nice condition. Okay, they both happen to be in super nice condition, fair. But I think you kind of see what I'm saying. It's annoying when you're looking for comparables and you see ones that also need a refurb. It just doesn't really help it. So yeah.
One thing to say as well is we kind of flag in the comparables here if properties are, well presented or if they were in need of renovation. So when you're seeing those prices, you can get.
Just don't want to have to scroll past the other ones.
An idea of okay, this was a property that needed renovating. This was a property that was done to that was well presented, and that just helps you kind of narrow them down a bit. And yeah, you can also go into the prices here on the left. If you don't want to see the individual comparables, you can just press on the prices here and see what the kind of average prices are in the area, average asking prices, and you can just go into the overview here and see what the sale, asking prices, and rental prices are as well, and what those prices are over time. So then when you're actually, after you've finished looking at the comparables, you can go into our calculators section here, and then you can actually analyze the deal, right? So with something like this, it might be a very, maybe not back to brick, but certainly plastering, cleaning, everything. So you can go here to buy, refurb, refinance perhaps. And then this is like a simple calculator here, but we can switch it over to the detailed view to see all of the variables. It's a very comprehensive calculator. It's basically as if we've given you a spreadsheet on steroids out of the box, but you can do it.
Just because the one in that we're given in the Dealers Club is quite good. And also, I most of all don't look at Flip or BRR. I look at assisted sale. He doesn't have one.
All within Property Engine. It's all saved automatically within Property Engine. So it's really great. And here we've got the purchase price, but we can click here to add a discount if we want. So if we know we're going to get, let's say, 10% when we negotiate with the agent, then we can just quickly click on these to assume a discount. And we've got the stamp duty calculations, some typical survey and legal fees, but you might want to change this. Your bridging financing as well, you can change all of the variables there. And then with the refurb, you can adjust this. So you might say like 35,000, for example, and then you can choose to include that in the bridging or not. Council tax, you can put.
The way that is best to analyze is not just go, oh right, let's buy it for this. It's to go like, what's the refurb going to cost? What's the GDP? Any other things? And then what do I have to offer? Like I did on this one. I was like, well, I didn't save it, did I? But yeah, I said kind of like, well, I have to kind of offer 700. There might be room for a little bit more, but not much.
Put in just some typical monthly expenses during a refurb. And then, you can put in your mortgage rates here, what your estimated market value might be. So we could say, let's say like 140,000. And then you would put in the rent as well. So again, you would be going between the calculator and the comparables to have a look. Okay, 3-bed house, average in the area is 1,200. So then you can just go back here and put that into the calculator and see what your kind of yield is.
That's annoying. I didn't know that button existed. I was going on to Rightmove to look at average rent. Maybe I'll just try. I don't know though. I mean, looking at Rightmove is, like I said, I have it here, and yeah, there you go. This is what I tend to use for average rents. And you can just scroll through, blah blah blah. But obviously, some of these they're asking prices, so you have to kind of think in your head, well, maybe 200 quid lower or something. Although not from April. Renters' Rights Act, it will be like that'll be the price. But yeah, maybe I'll use the Property Engine one just for a quick. Just saves time, doesn't it? It has all the data and it's just doing an average. I mean, it can't go wrong, surely.
And with because this is a BRR, you can see how much money is left in the deal once you actually refinance. So with this ideal purchase price, this is kind of doing the reverse of the calculation. So it's saying you would have to buy the property at this price to pull all of your money out, which
all of your money out, 63. It's on for one.
Which is obviously not very realistic. But if you press on the drop down here, you can see all the different kind of levels of money left in, what the purchase price would need to be. So yeah, really handy for doing a BRR, because then you can go into a negotiation with an agent and know exactly what price you can come down to.
Nice.
And then yeah, you've got your agent fees and just various expenses here. This calculator is super flexible though, so you can add in additional costs. You might want to add in a sourcing fee. So if this is going to be a deal that you're going to sell to someone else, you would add a sourcing fee so that when you present the numbers, it has that sourcing fee taken into account. And then yeah, you can download this to
attention deal sources,
a spreadsheet, and actually edit that spreadsheet as well. So if you needed to do even more changes to it, to this
otherwise you don't get paid
calculator, you can do it once you've downloaded it into a spreadsheet, and the formula are all there, so it will continue to be updated. And you can also save this as a template. So what I would recommend doing is when you're looking in an area at specific properties, and you've put all your rates in, all of your typical fees, you can then save this as your own BRR template. So I can say BRR template leads, for example, and then that way when I'm going into another property, I can then choose to create the calculator from that template and all of the rates.
I'm just going to try something. I'll go flip. Can I take away stamp duty? Because I saw on the sister sellers, if I could just take that away. But no, I don't think I can. Alright, so yeah, this one doesn't really work for us. Is there a lease options one? Is there a lease option card? Because he mentioned purchase lease options in that video, interestingly. Oh no, that's I pressed the wrong button. So if he mentioned it, then where was the last view? No, he's not got it. So he mentioned it, but there's no calculator. I've actually spent a long time again working with Louis on my calculator, so it is difficult.
And everything that I've saved into that template are coming through. So yeah, that's really great. And then yeah, once you've kind of analysed the deal and had a look at the comparables, you can then save the property. So you would use the labels feature, and you can add and remove your own labels. So I recommend mapping out your kind of deal pipeline with the labels.
I think he created this video before there was a pipeline, and I was just using it for the basic package. He's saying map out pipeline with labels. So this would be me saying goodbye to my beautiful pipeline, but well, saying hello to another £75 a month. Which is probably ideal.
Here we've just got some for you by default. So we've got interested, viewing booked.
And I've created a lot of my own in fairness.
So what I would do here is I would just say I'm interested in this property, and then maybe give the agent a call and book a viewing on, and at which point I would transition this over to viewing booked. So yeah, you would use the labels to save all of the properties that you're looking at.
How do you find them again?
Once you've looked at a property here, like I've shown you, you can purchase the title documents and everything.
Is there another way to? Probably shouldn't jump the gun, but is there another way to find? So I won't have this feature. Find my labels. Can now find the ones I've labeled. Oh, here. Okay, it's. I would just go here, and I would go. Yeah, I mean that's not bad. Like, I've now got a ton of labels, to be fair. That means I need to remember to label the properties. But at the moment, I've been adding to pipeline and I've been using the labels. But obviously, this one's not got a label. So I will, like, when I downgrade, I will lose sight of this one. But as long as I label everything, I can go along here and I can look at all the ones I've labeled negative equity. Yeah. And when I don't want it anymore, like, I don't think this freaking mansion's probably going to work as an investment, to be honest. I think I'm absolutely crazy. I was absolutely crazy with that one. I'm gonna remove the labels and say goodbye to this big mansion. I'll also move it from the pipeline. But I mean, bless it, it's been on the market since 2024. But like, yeah, I didn't really realise, but yeah, you can't invest in this. I mean, rental yields, like, just no. Maybe as an SA, I mean, Christ. Could be like a mega SA, but still, like, 10 grand a month. It's not that much money. Let me know in the comments if you think there's a way to make this work, but I just doubt it. It's a massive mansion, stuffed full of Russian money, soon to be Arabic, and yeah, it's in negative equity. I bought it for 8 million. Oh no, that's bad, isn't it? That was when the market went crazy after COVID. Put their money into this. Like, negative equity is bad on a 500k property. Negative equity is terrible on a property. Like, you're like £1 million in negative equity. That is horrendous. Anyway, I don't think it's going to be an investment. Anyway, yeah, so I'd find it through using the labels here.
As well, if you want to get the owner's details. Yeah, you can see your saved properties. They'll show up here. So all of the labels that you've added, you'll see them in the search results. So then when you're actually looking at more properties, you can then switch these search results over to new. So what?
Okay. So go right. So now I'm looking at saved. All properties. It's just ever around the country, and then saved. This is everything under a label. But then it would be saved, and then I could, yeah, and then I could include and then I'm looking at these ones, cash only and reduce. So yeah, I mean, it's one of them that I just have to be very good at remembering my labels. So when we do our live streams, I'd be noting down in the book what I've labelled the property, note down the postcode, and I think we should be good to go from there. I don't think there's any need to spend we'll see, to spend the large money on the premium package. I don't think it's needed for me right now, because I can't afford it. If you can afford it, just do it.
What this will do is it's going to show you properties which you haven't yet labelled. So that way it's like a bit of a deal inbox. You're excluding those properties that you've already labelled. So if you're labelling them saying you're interested, but also labelling the bad ones, like maybe it's...
All right, new. Anything around the country. Write them down. That's my hour. Yeah.
the condition is too good and you're looking for BRs, so you can label them accordingly. So that way, when you select new here, you're only seeing those new properties, and you can treat it almost like a deal inbox of new properties that have appeared since you last checked. So yeah, you can use new for that. And then if you click on saved, as you might expect, this is where your saved properties are. So any properties that have been labeled, they will appear here. And then, yeah, you can switch back to all. And then if you go into watching, this is where you'll see any properties that you were watching. So for example, if I go into this one that we just saved and go to alerts, I'm going to set up those instant email alerts for if this property changes. Then when I go to watching, you'll see that we've got this little notification.
Yeah, the pipeline is far better than this, but this will do, I think. But I have to be really selective about the ones I'm watching because I just don't like getting loads of emails. I don't like it. Yeah, okay, cool.
Icon, and it's appeared into my watching tab. So yeah, you can really stay on top of things here. Use the
The ones I'm watching are the ones I'm like in active negotiations with an agent.
filters, the alerts, and the labels to save your pipeline and stay on top of things. And yeah, once you've kind of narrowed down your search criteria, what you can then do is set up real-time email alerts as well. So here I would just do like Leeds and Bradford.
And I fully know how to do this. Okay, well, we've reached the end of the hour. Let's finish the hour by. What's it called? Light. Basic. Honestly, I've forgotten exactly what this is. It's definitely before our last live stream. Our next live stream. So that's why I was doing this little review today. So on the next live stream, I'm going to say goodbye to this pipeline thing. So goals for next week is so it was the follow up with both agents on that one with the swimming pool. Work with me Wednesday deal. Send D2B letters in the remaining time I've got. MW103SD. Oh yeah, I just took a break in today's live stream and just decided to analyse one that popped up. But it needs to be about 700k. It's on for 875, so yeah, it's unlikely, but let's try. You don't ask, you don't get. Maybe they come back and say 725, and then maybe my build quote comes back a little bit less than I thought, and then we're good. Okay. You've got to be bad at negotiating though. If you're at 875 and someone's at 700 to go 725, they'll probably come back and say 800. But, that's fine. Leave that one with me. What else is successfully downgrade the package. Make the most of the letters in the meantime. What else? The brochures. what I'll do is any deal that I think might be one that I'm sending to an investor, I'll just make the brochure now, and then yeah, I'll just get myself familiar with kind of a good structure, which they have here. The brochures here are good. I'll show you, for example, this deal's probably not going through, like I said. But you go here, create PDF brochure, this one, and it's a really good feature. So I'll try and create as many of these as I can before I downgrade, and just download it here. But this is not the best showcase of it. There we go. So I can put my business logo here. Has photos. It has information. It has EPC. Yeah, it's really good. So for me to do this manually, it might take half an hour, to be fair, because I'll be screenshotting and just putting it onto a blank page. And yeah, but you know, I should always be selective. Oh, this one's pretty cool. I don't know if I can necessarily screenshot that, but I don't know how important that is. But yeah. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to make as good quality ones, but at the end of the day, what's more important, the deal or the brochure? The deal. If the deal is good, it doesn't matter if my brochure looks a little bit amateur. For now, if it's the numbers. If the numbers stack, it doesn't matter if I have a nice picture telling you how close it is to the centre of London. I don't think so. That is my conclusion. Get a property engine. If you can afford the pro package, go for it. Ask if they can do some kind of discount for you as well, because I only could afford the pro package because they did a 50% for 3 months for me. But if you can't afford 108 quid a month, I don't blame you. I mean, most of us sources are kind of starting in property, aren't we? So probably can't afford that just yet. But the downgraded package is, I believe, 30 quid. 31. It might be 31 plus that at the worst, I think. But it's less than I'm paying at the moment, so yeah. That's the conclusion. Yeah. Oh, and I'll finish this week cleaning up the pipeline. Make the most of it, right? I think we got, in the last couple of live streams, we got to the point where we kind of scanned through. To be honest, this is sold again. We'd scanned through all of this apart from the sold ones, so I'll just double check the sold ones, see if they're worth keeping or ditching. Sometimes it says sold, sometimes it says removed. Check those ones. And just tidy it up and make the most of it before I lose the feature. Often made, what was these ones? Oh yeah. That was rejected, so probably move it to here. Yeah, and taking the labels, remember to take the labels off the ones that I don't like, because that's how I'll be finding the good opportunities later. And I don't want to just be like, delete from the pipeline, but then when I downgrade the package, it keeps popping up again. I want to like actually get rid of that. So, or like Jamie said in the video, create a label, like a trash label, and just put it in the trash, or trash for now. this is what we want to get to. Not quite there yet, but this is where we want to get to soon. I've had quite a few coming in here over the months that I've been doing this stuff. We want to get to here. We want to get to here. Not quite got there yet. But it will happen sooner or later. Hopefully sooner. I don't think downgrading my package will slow me down. Might even speed me up. Put the money into other things. You know, I can put that money maybe into a really easy like PDF creator thing, or I could put that money into DocuSign, because I had trouble with that recently with sending investors documents and like, I can't sign this or something. So that money can be best put up elsewhere, not into more coffees and snacks, but be sensible. Right. Thank you for watching.